YouTubes. I just want to say a massive thanks to Grant Smart Repairs for giving me a shout out and asking his subscribers to come and have a look at my channel. I'm overwhelmed by it, to be honest with you. I started doing this, and I don't know what I'm doing now, to be honest with you, but I started doing it not really having a clue what to do, didn't know how to work the camera. Just thought I'd buy a GoPro, stick it on my head and start filming the jobs that I paint. And yeah, I'm so chuffed that people actually like the videos and that they watch them and they're interested in them. I weren't sure whether people would be interested or not. So yeah, I just want to say to Grant and all the people that have subscribed, I just want to say a massive thanks, really. So it's been brilliant. It's hard work trying to do the job, and trying to get the footage and trying to show what you do while you're doing it. It can be difficult because you're always under pressure with this job to get to certain stages, and jobs have to go out, and it takes time to get the camera set up, and then you check it, and so yeah, it does. The jobs get delayed because of it, but I enjoy doing it, and it's been brilliant, and I've learned so much already, and and to have someone like Grant to shout me out and put his subscribers, he's done all that hard work to get the subscribers that he's got, and for him to just point them my way, it's fantastic, and I'm so pleased. So I just wanted to say that, and I try and do as much as I can, and try and show as much as I can. I've been doing this job for a long time. So I'm 47, and I started doing this when I was 14. So I was doing it from school on Saturdays. I had a Saturday job at a small body shop, and I was doing school holidays and all that, and it was a bit of a spitting sawdust place, but the guy I worked for, he was a one-man band, and I learned so much, and I stayed with him right through. Left school, he put me on an apprenticeship, sent me to college, and I gained loads of experience from it, and that's all I've ever done. I've never done any other job. That's all I've ever done. So yeah, that's sort of how I started, really. As a schoolboy, I did my first respray when I was 15, and we used to do all sorts of stuff up there. And like I say, I just want to say thanks again for everyone subscribing, and thanks to Grant. And if any of my subscribers are not subscribed to Grant Smart Repairs, then yeah, please go and have a look at him. He does some great work at the conditions that he has to do it in sometimes, and it doesn't faze him, and the results he gets, they're top notch, just as good as in the right conditions, like having a booth and stuff, and he gets the job done, and he's inspiring, and he's positive, and he battles through whatever comes his way. He battles through it. So yeah, and I love watching this video. So yeah, if any of my subscribers are not subscribed to Grant Smart Repairs, go and check him out. He's a top bloke. So yeah, thanks again, and thanks for all your nice comments and the stuff you say about my jobs, because that's all I care about is the jobs, really. That's all I care about is what my paintwork looks like. It's regardless of what the customer's paying, really. It doesn't matter what they're paying or what the type of car it is or whatever. I check the paintwork, and I do the paintwork the same, and I do lose out on work, really, because people come to me, and I know the car doesn't warrant a certain cost on a job, and I understand that, but I can't change the way I do it, and the way I approach paintwork and the way I do paintwork, I can't change it for anyone. Whether it's a £200 car or a £20,000 car, when I've put that coat of paint on there, I'm checking it the same regardless. I'm looking for dry spots, contamination, whatever problems you can have in paintwork. I'm looking for it, and I can't help it. That's just the way I am. So yeah, it's regardless of the cost of the, you know, the price that I'm getting for the job or the type of car or job it is. You know, we all have to do a bit of bodging, you know, a bit of sometimes symmetrical bodging, but it's where you bodge it sometimes. But yeah, like I say, thanks again for everything everyone said, and thanks again to Grant. All right, YouTubes, it's a bit of a cold one today. I've got my hat on, and we've got the heater on as well. Right, so this is next job we're going to start now. It's a VW Up, and it's in for this damage here. So it's in, we've got a sill repair to do. It's quite substantial. It's all humped up in there, so it would be the inner as well, like the inner step. And we've got a second-hand door for it, which is here in the same colour. Looks all original paint, and it looks in good nick. Fair play to them, they've marked up little bits of dirt by the looks of it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this door hung on. It's got all the stuff on it, most of it, so we're just going to hang it on, see what works, see if the window goes up and down, the regulator works and everything. And then we've got a reference point then for pulling the sill out. So we get the door hung on, and then lift it up and start pulling that sill out and see how we get on. That's now, isn't it? Yeah. Everything else alright though. Shit's alright. Might want a bit of an adjustment on that.
They don't show like that anyway.
No. Let's try the window. Everything else is the same, isn't it? Turn the ignition on. Try the window. How would you do the other side window then from there? Is it? It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is the door card? repaired now on the VW Up, and it's gone okay. 3 skims it took. Yeah, they can be a little bit tricky sometimes, seals, especially but these are a little bit of a awkward shape where they're sort of hexagon, a couple of feature lines in it. You know, you got a bit of leeway where you got spray sealer stone guard on the bottom. So yeah, what I'll do next is I'll just sand around it with a DA with 240 and get some of these sanding scratches out around the filler, and then prep it all for paint. I'm just gonna blow it in. So I'll do a blow in up the dog legs somewhere around there, and then I have to do it up the A post and the B post, blow in up there, and I'll probably come off of this feature line here and same round here, and then yeah, once it's 2-pack primed, I'll get it all prepped, masked and in the booth, and then what I'll do then is I'll do the spray sealer when it's all ready to paint, and then that only needs about half an hour just to start tacking off. It's better to paint the spray sealer. I do use stone guard and Gravitex and stuff like that, but I've got a spray sealer gun, a Kent one, and you can replicate finishes quite well. You can adjust the gun and the sealer to replicate different types of finishes. You can do sort of thick beads with it, and you can do sort of thinner coats with it as well. So yeah, it's better to paint over that when it's still a little bit tacky. So I think when it dries right out, I think it needs keying up a little bit. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get it all prepped, masked, ready to paint, do the spray sealer, leave it about half an hour, and then be straight on with the paint. So I'll get cracking on that. So that's the Volkswagen Up all prepped now and mask ready to spray. So I'm just going to apply this spray sealer So spray sealer I use, and this gun is from a company called Kent, and they do a couple of, it's pretty decent, it's not 2-pack, so they do a couple of different sealers that go in here, so ProSeal, a 404 and a 303. So the 303 is more, you can adjust this gun in loads of ways. So the 303 is more like, you can do like factory, say on bulkheads and inner wings and stuff like that, rear panels, boot floors, then spray thick beads of sealer. You can replicate them with that, and they do the sealers in different colours as well. So they do a beige, so you see often on cars that there's no paint on the insides of the boots and stuff, and they have like a beige sealer, so you can replicate that with it, with adjustments with the air cap, the pressure and the fluid control. You can do beads, you can do like thick beads, you can do stone guard effects, you know, like on this sill you can do heavy, thin. It does take a bit of playing about with, and I find that I waste probably just as much sealer setting it up as I do on the actual job, but it doesn't get used that often. So I'm just going to have a little play with this. It should pretty much be there. You can, it sort of stays wet for quite a while, and then it's like really rubbery, the coating, when it's dried. But it's best to paint it while it's still wet, and then the paint will bond with it then. So I'm going to do this, I'm doing this job in 2K solid colour, so direct gloss 2K, candy white. I've got some of that on the shelf, so yeah, I'm just going to have a play about with this, get it to where I think it needs to be. I find that if you turn the pressure up, have the pressure right up, and loosen the air cap off, you'll get like a finer seal. So yeah, this 404 is more for your visual out of body textures, and the 303 version of it is more for your, you know, your bead sealing and stuff like that on insides of panels. They've got a couple of attachments as well that you can put, so you can sort of do like a door skin seal with it, but you've got to be really quick and skillful to get that to look right, so I don't use it for that. I use it for the textures mainly on the outside, and especially like up in wheel boxes, so you can buy black, grey or beige. So it's good for up in wheel boxes if you've done maybe some rust on a wheel arch repair. You can blast all this up on the inside of it black, and leave it black if it's, you know, on an older car that hasn't got splash guards in and stuff like that. So it's good, it's really versatile, and it's good stuff. Yeah, it's good for replicating different finishes. They're all slightly different on sills and stuff, depending on the manufacturer, but get some of this on. And one good thing about it as well is you just leave the sealer in it, so it's pretty much, you haven't got to clean it out. Now and again, if it hasn't been loose for a long time, it might be a little bit clogged. But as long as you leave a cartridge of sealer in there, the internal sealer stays wet all the time, which is really good, really handy. Saves you all that trouble of having to clean it out every time. You just for doing a small little bit of sealer work, then takes you longer to clean the gun out sometimes. So I'll give you a closer look at that finish. It's pretty much looks like original. Yeah, the line, I've sort of loaded it in the middle a little bit where the repair was to make that line look a bit thicker when I pull the masking off. But the line should be pretty much there. Sometimes I do a soft edge for the stone guard line, but it can creep under and leave a little edge underneath and show. So I'll give that a bit. I put the lamps on it to give it a little bit of cure time. Just sort of feathered it into the original there, and then loaded it a bit heavier there. And then yeah, you can sort of put it on, and you can then sometimes the sills they like double step with sealer, so it's sort of a texture there, and then there's like a thick texture underneath. So it's good for doing that as well, where you can sort of do one application of the top, and then when that's gone off a little bit, you can sort of change the settings a little bit and get a thicker application below it to try and replicate it, you know, replicate the OE finish. So yeah, give that a little bit of time to cure, and then it'll be ready to paint. So the VW Up's all spray sealed now, and I've let that go off a little bit. It's a little bit tacky and it's ready to go. So I'm going to mix up some paint. I'm going to do it in 2K solid, so it's Mipa OC. I've already got some of it. I've checked, I've got a spray out of it and it looks pretty good, so I'm going to go with that. Be 2 coats of that. They recommend, if you mix on the scales, it's 5% thinner, but it's like treacle at that ratio. So I put about between 10, I put about 12 to 15% thinner in there, and I also warm it up. So it's been in front of the heater, so the tin's nice and warm. I've warmed the panel up as well with the heat lamps, because OC, I think it stands for 1 coat. But you try putting it on in 1 coat and it's like treacle. So to get a nice sort of flatter glossy finish, you know, a lot of the high solid 2Ks, they're classed as commercial industrial paint. Covers well, but I sort of, where I over thin it, sort of treat it like a 2-coat system. Then it doesn't say that on the data sheet to do it, but that's what I do. I sort of go, yeah, 12-15% thinner. So yeah, I thin it at that ratio, and then put a light coat on, let that go off well, and then put a nice wet one on there. And even at that, it can still go, if you overload it, it can go quite orange peely. So doing an outer body on a car with it, the finish can look different. So really I only use it on commercials, vans and stuff, and on cars if the colour match is good I might do plastics with it, so bumpers, but to do like body panels with it when the cars have got clear coat on, it's hard to replicate that original orange peel from the factory using 2K. Yeah, it's decent. The gloss is good on it, really good. There's a couple of options actually. So if you put the high solid, the HS hardener in it, like I say, it can be a bit orange peely unless you over thin it, but the gloss is really good. They got another option. You put an MS hardener in there, so an MS hardener will thin it out and it will lie flatter, but it loses gloss with the MS and it doesn't look right. And it's quite hard to polish as well with the MS in there. So yeah, I don't use the MS. I'll put the HS hardener in there. So, but it does give you both options for that. If you're painting parts and stuff, you know, mirror covers and stuff, it's okay, and it's okay on vans and commercials. But yeah, it'd be okay on this sill. It's low down and the colour will match well, and it'd be a bit quicker than doing it in base coat and clear. So I'm just going to get the colour put together, and I'll do it with my Minijet. So I'll do it with my small spray gun. I think it'd just be easier to keep control over where I've got to blend it up the pillars and stuff. So I'll get that mixed up and get the paint on there. been all painted now on the VW Up. So I'll give you a little look. And show you that spray sealer, the Kent one. It's pretty good at replicating OE finishes. You can get a good thickness on it as well. And yeah, like I say, you can adjust the texture to suit. And yeah, it's really versatile for a lot of applications. It covers a lot of applications finish wise, and works really well. And it seals as well, so if it's on joins between panels, it is actually a sealer. So yeah, it's come out quite well, that repair. So now I'll just get the doors on it. The guy opted not to have the doors painted. There are some marks on them and a little bit of damage on the back door, but it's only minor. So I said we'll polish them all up, and we'll do a little bit of touching in. I'll mix up a bit of activated colour and try and touch it in as neat as possible. Right, so that's the VW Up all finished and fitted up. Yeah, it all come out well in the end. So yeah, the guy done really well getting a second-hand door in the right colour. It was really good condition. Original paint on it, and the colour matches all right. So yeah, we didn't need to paint that. The back door had a little bit of damage, but he was quite happy just to have that touched in. So yeah, still come out well. The gap looks good, and stone guard looks good. The spray sealer looks good. So yeah, come out well in the end. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy my videos, and I hope they're improving and my editing's improving. But it's all a learning curve, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad people like it, and I'm glad people watch it, and hopefully people might learn something from it, and I can learn from other people's comments as well. So yeah, it's all good. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what we're doing next. Mercedes SL 500 on an L plate. But I won't tell you what's being done on it yet, but sort of a bit of a mini restoration being done on it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.